We are.
We're all a little bit crazy here.
Exactly. We are a little bit different. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the first episode. What?
You gotta let people log in first.
Oh, well, I was just letting
We're doing
people
it.
that come in
We're
know.
doing that grace period. Okay. And you're on your Facebook Live?
Can I commit murder on camera? Do you think that's like a thing that
There we go.
people do? Well, I wouldn't like murder you like too bad. I feel like it would just be one of those things where I'll like put my hand on your neck, and then right when I feel like something's going down, I'm gonna just take my hand off and then hug you.
Yeah, it would be like a lucky.
Yeah. Just,
I hate you, but I kind of need you around.
Yeah, exactly.
We are in a ROC.
We are in a relationship of convenience.
I'm so glad I made that up.
I know that was brilliant. I'll give you that. But they're like, yeah, and not only that, but I feel like people would like pay to see that. You know what I mean? We could put it on like no weirdness, but I think people would look for that video on Pornhub.
We could just put it online, get another 100,000 views.
Yeah, I feel like we should start off on a clean
no,
slate.
I hit 200,000.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sweet. I need to see a check.
So what?
And then and only then will I marry you for the benefits, and then we'll put my choking plan into action. So you ready to go? Because I don't know if you realize this, but the Facebook Live's up. Nitwit.
All right. Facebook Live has been shared, and we're good to go.
All right. You want to go ahead and let people know who you are?
Hello, I'm Bass Trenches.
What's going on? I'm Kid Kong, and welcome to the first podcast, the spin-off podcast, if you will, from Toon World on Power 4.4 Radio. That's right. We're doing it.
First ever Obscene podcast.
First ever Obscene podcast. Why do we call it Obscene podcast?
This has been years in the making of this.
Years in the making. And we call it Obscene podcast because we can do whatever the hell we want on here.
We don't have to worry about cussing our topics that will piss off sponsors.
That's right. Watch this. Fuck.
Shit. Bitch. Tits.
Ass.
Penis.
Come guzzling.
I have a foot fetish. I ran out of cuss words.
There you go. You can say that stuff on this podcast.
If you are offended already, this is not the show for you.
Yes. Yeah. if you're offended by anything, whether it's two guys choking each other out or, people screaming obscenities, then why the fuck are you literally subscribed to my channel? I'll never understand that. As you can see, we have two guests with us today. We got Destiny Riffle.
Hello.
That's right. And a drooling dog.
Meet Timba.
Yep. Meet Timba, everybody.
Look at the camera, Timba, that way. Not that way.
He doesn't give a fuck about the camera.
He is on that tennis ball hard.
He's staring at it and drooling at it. I've never seen something like it. He's just like on it. Timba, you want to speak to the crowd? Anything to the crowd? Anything. I know you talk, motherfucker. We can do
Like I
this.
said earlier, we're not in the room. He is just the most educated little vest-wearing, monocle-wearing, cue card reading, smartest dog.
I'm telling you.
Around, he just transfers back to bark.
It's like the fucking toys from Toy Story, man. You don't think I know those cocksuckers can talk? I know inanimate objects talk. See, this is exactly why we're doing an episode on mental health awareness.
Oh yeah, you have to introduce our guest.
I just did. You fuck. But all right.
I didn't hear
Destiny, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am. We are so glad to have you with us on this first ever Obscene podcast. Even though one of the moments or the things we're talking about are not necessarily obscene.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Could
Now,
be clarified as obscene.
nah,
Mental health is I don't know. Is obscene? Is
no,
obscene
obscene is not the word for dealing with mental health. Obscene is crazy shit, like like mental health is not crazy, and that's the stigma behind it. Not a lot of people really get or know what you're dealing with this thing. Now tell exactly what you have and let people know.
So I have bipolar 2 disorder and
Okay.
borderline personality disorder.
Okay. And what does that mean? For anybody not
So
familiar.
basically, borderline personality disorder, it's a disorder that stems from your childhood and you develop it during your childhood. And it's basically from enduring a lot of trauma and emotional neglect as a child.
Huh.
Yeah.
And what exactly is like the stigma you see? Like when you let people know about the split personality, everything like that. Like how do they look at you? Is it like more people more accepting, or are they just like
It's like not. It's a lot of people are accepting, but there have been people who like don't necessarily know what it means, and they definitely think people with BPD are like abusive people because if you are left untreated without medication, without therapy, you can become a very negative person. But with all the help that you can get for BPD, you actually can flourish in life.
really? And what is some like like what do you consider health? Like do you mean like going to the doctors?
Yeah.
Getting like the medication to deal with it, or like therapy or
Yeah,
stuff like
so for BPD, there's actually not a medication for BPD, but certain medications can actually help the symptoms like the paranoia, the depression, the anxiety, all of that.
Okay, so something I've got to ask because, and I don't mean this necessarily as like a joke, but is it exactly like that one movie I saw James McAvoy in where he turned into like different people? Does anybody know what movie I'm talking about? What was it called? Like Split. Remember, like his crazy like persona was like the Beast or whatever, and he literally just became.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I think that was a different personality disorder. That's when you have multiple personalities. I don't necessarily have multiple personalities.
Okay.
It's just it's basically an emotional dysregulation disorder.
Huh.
That's basically what it is.
Okay. And what would you tell people right now? What would you tell them for anybody that does know somebody with BPD, and what would you tell these people or whatever when dealing with someone with BPD?
You just have to be very like aware of their triggers. You have to be aware of how to deal with someone when they're in an episode, and you just have to be very patient with someone with BPD, and you can't you just can't be negative around them. You can't you just have to support them 100%.
Awesome, Rob. You got any questions for her? Because I know you mentioned just recently getting diagnosed with something, and
Oh yeah, no, I was actually just diagnosed with bipolar and just put on medication recently. Got put on. At first, it was they didn't even really offer any like therapy help. They even told me like a lot of the therapy groups that they gave me the numbers to, they're probably not gonna help you. Like they're really like kind of like overrun. Like they're really busy with how many people now are actually getting it because of the quarantine. A lot of people were made to like stay home and deal with themselves, and a lot of people, like I guess, sitting with themselves didn't realize like they had it.
that's
So
how
they
that happens.
apparently,
Really, you heard something like that?
No, I actually haven't heard
Wow.
that.
yeah, and she told me they're like, and if you're not really gonna get through to any like therapy, like they're not really gonna want to offer you any therapy. They're gonna offer you medication. So what my doctor did, she's like, I'm just gonna like prescribe you the medicine that they're gonna prescribe you, but you should still try to call them. And one of the, I think like two of the numbers that they gave me to like the help, like these two help centers, they were like they're gonna be kind of rude to you. I'm like, why are they gonna be rude to me? They're like, because they're just kind of tired of dealing with this and people that are trying to like tell them that
Those
they
people
have
shouldn't
this.
be in that. You know what I mean? Like,
shouldn't like those types of people who don't have like the patience to deal with like the people who are mentally ill shouldn't be in that field.
yeah,
Exactly.
And, but
I was
unfortunately,
confused.
like I have had doctors and therapists in the past who like don't understand and are very like quick to like judge me based on like how I was growing up and stuff because I wasn't exactly easy to deal with growing up.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you ever ran into like any like thing
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah, like
Doctors or
yeah.
therapists just being like pushing you off.
Yeah, for sure, because I was not easy to deal with when I was growing up, especially like having like undiagnosed BPD in like my teenage years and everything. Because you can get diagnosed with BPD. at a younger age, but most of the time they do diagnose you after you're 18. So being undiagnosed with it, I was very unstable growing up. So like a lot of doctors and therapists like didn't really like listen to me, and they mainly just listened to my aunt, who was my guardian at the time.
Which is crazy to me. Like that's something I've always sat there and thought about. Like, how can you sit there and just listen to a family member, but not the person that's actually got it? Can you make that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like like as a doctor, you literally you go, you get your degree, and you know what you're in for. You know, like, okay, some of these people are gonna be a little unnerving sometimes, but guess what? That's literally why you became a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's so crazy too, because I always thought I like, you know, being black, growing up in a black household, you know, it was always funny going to the doctors and they're sitting there asking the parents about stuff. Now, I don't know about y'all, but some relatives will sit there and either look at that as an inflection on themselves, or they'll just sort of manipulate how everything's going instead of going right to the source and being like, okay, how are you feeling about this stuff? Like what, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine someone sitting there and being like, hey, Chris, I know you've got all these problems going on. Now let me talk to somebody that's just tired of your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, couldn't be me. Now, how do you like? Have you gotten therapy and everything like that? Do you think it's helped you out like a lot?
Yes, I first started going to therapy when I was 9 years old. It's for like ADHD and stuff like that, but and like depression and stuff. So I've been in therapy like off and on since I was 9 years old, and actually has made a big impact on the person I am today. Because without therapy, I would not be functional, and without medication, I wouldn't be functional either.
Yeah. See, you know what? Like, I know we do mental health awareness like all the time, but let me tell you something. Like, all of you guys are so cool for coming in and like talking to us and doing stuff like that. You know, like, I really am appreciative of you guys coming on here and explaining this type of stuff, because like I look at certain stuff, you know, like even with my own self, and I'm like, at first I was just like, oh, okay, I'm quirky, and now I'm sitting here like, man, I really am raw dog in life. No medication, no therapy. I look at that stuff like, okay, am I quirky, or do I need to go talk to somebody?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also know I'm one of those people that's like, I don't necessarily, I feel like if I go to a therapist or something like that, they're going to make me cry. I don't want to cry.
I mean, it's good to cry sometimes.
I don't know. It's just like, for me, like, I have had good cries, though.
Yeah.
I've definitely had good cries, but then afterwards, I'm just like, ew, I did that. Now, I have had people sit there, even grown men, be like, nah, man, cry. And this is at the gym. Like, so basically just somebody just sitting there, yeah, man, you should go home and get that cry out. Like, think about something. I'm just like looking at them. I'm like, okay, Hulk, I should cry. All right. Yeah, some people say that is therapeutic, so to speak. Are there any like organizations you would recommend to anybody who's maybe struggling or that doesn't know, you know, that they have it? Like, any in particular you may know?
Well, I just recommend, like, if you think that you are mentally ill, definitely going online and looking at like your insurance company and see what doctors for mental health or with your insurance company. Definitely give them a call so you can get a diagnosis and stuff, because it's really important to take care of your brain, because it comes a point in life where you have to take care of your brain or else you won't, you know, get anywhere. Sometimes if it's so severe, you won't get anywhere. So.
You hear that, Rob?
Yep.
Sorry,
I'm in the middle.
We gotta take care of our brains, man.
All right, now I'm back into the conversation. I'm done doing my part of the show.
We were basically talking about how I need to legally marry you so that I can get on your insurance and I could go get
Chuck and Lariat?
Yeah, we're gonna Chuck and Larry this shit. Let's fucking do this, man.
Canada.
Fuck yeah.
I'm picking up.
You're picking up bacon.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you thought of when we're going to Canada.
Ham.
There's ham here.
But not ham bacon.
You could just cut out a circle.
No.
And fry it.
I heard talking about doctors.
Yeah. What was it? She was talking about doctors she would recommend to people.
Oh, yeah. Like, what's like the best form of like help that you've gotten? Like therapy or medication or like exercises that you do?
I partake in DBT therapy, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, and that's the therapy that they use for borderline personality disorder. And it basically helps you like rewire your brain so you can get over the BPD. Not like get over it, but like it's easier to deal with over time.
Wow. I gotta know. Do you feel comfortable talking about that system? Like, how does that work? Like, is it like, what are these brain exercises?
So basically, I have a workbook. It's like an online workbook. It's the dialectical behavioral therapy workbook, and you just like go through it, and you just like read it, and it tells you like how to like act in certain situations, and it tells you like, and you just like go through like the prompts and everything, and yeah, and just like journaling too really helps.
So a diary, like
Yeah.
something like that.
See,
Yeah, it's kind
I
of like that.
I
as
like
him,
that.
I've tried to do like the writing and stuff. It's just like really like I'll write for like 2 nights and then I'll just kind of be like, I don't have the energy to write. Like actually, today's the first day I've actually messaged him back in about what 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
2.5 weeks
Like
and went into
this.
hiding.
Because really, all I can do right now is just struggle to get up and go to work and come home.
Yeah.
And I have messages on my phone. My birthday was July 7th, and I haven't answered anybody back that has said happy birthday to me, like, or anything. I haven't messaged him. He's messaging me every day, and like I don't have the energy to message anybody.
Stalker folks.
Yeah.
Almost showed up at his house with my car, but I feel like
Today I got really lucky. Like I was like, I need to kind of pull myself out of it. Like there's like it's and it's weird because like I can't tell if the medication's working or if it's the medication that's bringing me down. But I just feel like a zombie.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have no reason to pick up. Like I will let my phone ring for hours,
Yeah.
and it's just hard to get myself moving like that.
Yeah. It's definitely really difficult. Especially if you're like not on the right meds or anything. But it usually takes meds like 4 to 6 weeks to like fully kick in.
Yeah. I was on other medication before because on top of just being diagnosed with that, I also have panic attack disorder and I have PTSD and anxiety attack, which is like if anybody knows me in real life, they probably have seen me have one. He has a couple videos on his Facebook where I'm on the ground, like
I didn't know what it was.
everybody to get away from me, and
Yeah.
like I'm like sitting in the corner. I remember the one live we were at the Gold Room the first time I went.
Yeah, we're
and,
doing
like,
a studio session. You were sitting there,
and
it's
I
like,
walked out and I like left their whole thing and like was sitting in a hallway, and on the video like he got me and I'm sitting in the corner with my hands like this and my glasses and my hat and like my shirt pulled up because I felt like I couldn't breathe and like I was holding my face, and like he cut the video right there because he didn't really know what was happening. But like I get panic attacks like that all the time, and I really didn't know what they were at first, and then I found out like a lot of our other friends had it too, and then
yeah,
you know,
facts. Like I think we were literally just like one giant collective of anxiety-riddled rappers. Or musicians, or just like we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
It'd be like pill roulette. Speaking also like for like people who are friends of people with BPD, though, I do know that there are people who like myself don't really know how to like deal with their friends when they're going through an episode. Is there something you would tell these people like with dealing with somebody with that?
Definitely reassurance is key. So basically, if someone like with BPD asks you for reassurance, just give it to them, because we constantly think that people hate us. We constantly think people just like don't actually want to be in our lives, and we're constantly just very paranoid of all the people in our lives.
Right.
see I did not. I thought that was just part of my anxiety. I didn't like when my doctor told me that like when I had it, I thought that was just stemming from the PTSD and anxiety.
I mean,
But-
it stems from like a lot of different mental health issues too, but part of BPD is like being like paranoid, like thinking like people hate you and stuff. So,
Is there like any warning signs? Like if you're around somebody that is about to have like an attack, like is there any early signs somebody could pick up on if they're with somebody that has it?
I mean, it's different for everybody. So there's 4 different subtypes of BPD, and I went over with my therapist that I actually have the discouraged and quiet BPD subtype. So I internalize most of my symptoms until it gets to the point where I can't handle it anymore. And so basically, like for me, like I will hold everything in until like I need reassurance, or like if I'm like freaking out like externally, which I usually don't do like around people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes like a few of my friends like have seen me like freak out before, but it's usually like when I'm by myself.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I've a lot of my friends that I've grown up with have mainly been people with like mental health issues, like self-harm
Oh
is a
yeah.
big one with a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
Drug abuse, like we've all struggled with that,
Yeah.
especially like me, and they just didn't really. They all felt that way. Like they all just kind of felt like, even though we've been best friends for over like 13 years, they still think like, oh, Rob's just, just being with me to be nice. Like he
Yeah.
just doesn't want to feel like no, and I can understand and sympathize with that. So
Yeah.
definitely, like I never really understood how to like help with it,
Yeah.
but it would be nice to have like some exercises just on hand to know, like to help reassure somebody like that. So that's really helpful.
Yeah. Definitely reassurance is key for people who have PTSD, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, we like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like you. We think you're awesome.
As soon as you walked in here, you put on little Pete. I was like,
Yeah.
how can we not like you?
Awesomeness radar up. You know what I mean? Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for coming here and explaining to everybody about this, because I know there are people definitely going through it right now, and they need to hear this type of stuff.
And it's
You know what I mean?
extremely hard to talk about. I know that.
It is hard to talk about, especially because I constantly think like people like don't care or whatever. It's like really hard to like actually like talk about it sometimes.
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you had it?
I've had it for I've technically been diagnosed for a year, but I've had symptoms of it since I was a teenager.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
It's kind of like me.
yeah. So
That's
Yeah.
that's like a lot of people, and a lot of people won't even like go to get something done about it. They just become so used to it. Like a lot of my friends, they're like, even me, they're like, Rob, why don't you go to the doctors? It's just like I've been dealing with it for so long and not knowing what it was that it just became normal. Like,
yeah.
but it's not. It's not something you should have to be used to. That's not part of living. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until I got a little bit older, and then like, oh, I can get help.
Yeah.
But it's like I didn't want to just be thrown on medication like I am now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of just like staying back, like proceeding with caution on the medication and how I'm gonna approach like trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people too that they go to a doctor. And normally, let's be real, usually therapy works a lot better, I guess, for some people anyway, than with medication, because most of the people I've seen, they go to somebody and they're just like, they're almost kind of like guinea pigged. Have you ever ran into a situation like that where a doctor's just like, all right, let me throw this like cocktail of pills at you,
Yeah,
and then
for
it's
sure.
just like,
Yeah.
and then you're like, your mood is like this, and then it's this, and they're like, okay, this didn't work. Let's throw this at you and this at you and see if it sticks. And it's like the doctor's got to kind of understand. It's like, look, we're not, animals. Truly, I believe that you shouldn't be testing on animals either. But I don't think you should just throw somebody out there in the world on like a mix of stuff and then sit there and be like, okay, this didn't work. How about this? How about this? It's like, dude, our brains are precious, man.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've had doctors in the past just like put me on like a cocktail of different things, and it ended up me turning into like a complete zombie, having no emotions. And luckily, the doctor that I have now like put me on something where I actually I see a difference. And some days I feel like my medication's not working, but like overall, I really do think it is working, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be functioning as high functioning, I guess.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, exactly. But shout out to her doctor for that.
Period.
Yeah. For not being one of those asshole doctors. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, for anybody out there that feels as though like they've heard of, symptoms or anything like that, from Destiny herself, go out there and get some help. There are programs you could go through. You just heard the magic word insurance. You could go ahead and use that to the best of your ability. I mean, trust me, insurance is so worth it. I'm talking about marrying him for his.
I don't even have insurance.
Wow, that just kind of killed this whole thing. I had a ring and everything prepared.
Told you Canada.
Canada.
Free health insurance.
Well, then what the fuck is the point of the marriage?
Just wanted to see if you would get through with it.
Really.
Now we're stuck forever.
There's no engagement ring or nothing yet.
Ambient.
Okay. I'm gonna wake up in the back of my own car and just go.
I'll email you our
twinsies. Well, again, thank you, Destiny, for being on the show. We are, in fact, going to go ahead and cut to our first commercial break here on the Obscene.
23 minutes.
23 minutes? Yes, because then we'll do a commercial break and then go out the rest of it, then do another commercial break. Boom!
Okay, so this is our first commercial break.
First commercial break.
And then we'll be back with Destiny and us and talk more about other stuff.
That's right. Oh, yeah. For now, you guys can babysit my dog. Anybody, you want a treat? I am. Let's see. Also, if anybody who's watching this at all, if you have any music requests from local artists only, because I refuse to be sued for copyright, go on ahead. Let's see. You
guys want to see how bad my anxiety gets? And that's just from doing this.
Yeah.
I get very nervous.
Houston goes with homework this summer.
YouTube fucking sucks.
Oh, wait. Can you grab my phone? That's nice. Sure.
You know, we can walk on the set of our own show. We're just having a commercial break for the sake of having a commercial break. Yeah. First commercial break, y'all. Marrying him, as in I wanted the health insurance, but I'm getting it. Which, by the way, that offer isn't just for him, all right? If anybody's got good insurance and you want to tie the knot. Sorry, Rob, I got to get the getting while the getting's good. Let that. Splurge voice. I want to dance like that guy from American Dad. Just get it. Woo! Huh? Sweet. Share that bitch around. Here, I'm gonna put this close to y'all if y'all want to put it on the bed. Okay. There. There you See, but dance with me. I can't actually dance, but I can bullshit. We're on a commercial break, you guys. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Must not snack fly on my TV. Let's see what else we got here. Why don't our friends hate more music?
The UKN network shared it, by the way.
Sweet.
And Double Rebellion's asked me if when it's over if they can post it. They're pushing on their Twitter.
Like how we get a rig of podcast made it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we got like the Dub Rebellion asking if they can share it.
Sweet. And there ain't a damn thing about dubstep on here. Sweet. I'll take it.
I'm waiting for Shabby to hit me up. Asking like if he can share, if we can get him to share it. Yeah, that'd be dope. Him and Space Jesus. Speaking of that, I got a message Space Jesus.
Ah, fuck it, I'll put on an old song.
Play some of my shit.
You gotta put your shit on. You were back there.
Oh, you gotta do your shit.
That's
That's something you got no money, yo. How the fuck we gotta do this shit, man?
I have no idea.
Fuck, man.
I just put on our friends' music because we didn't have the ability to.
That's the whole point. I don't know. Is this the one you
No. I have to be a whole ass narcissist to play my own music on my own podcast.
All right, man, what's up? I ain't gonna do nothing until I get paid, man. Where's our money, bro?
People still tuned in?
You know, I hated that shit.
I thought it was COVID, but then like,
You say you get paid with a
maybe
lyric.
my bill like it sucked. I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't make fun of you. I just didn't know how painful it was. Yeah, that fly was brave as fuck, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make it. You want to get this $20,000 home?
What's wrong with you? You're tripping. What I look like doing that?
That's so weird. Like, you're like, fuck this, we're make this shit happen.
It's my head, see?
Play your song.
I just want to hear what it sounds like on the TV. Oh, that's why I've been getting random stuff. You're logged into my YouTube. I'm like, who's been searching up shit on my YouTube? Hey, man,
you have songs.
dude, it's been 3 years since I made the Kurt's Cowardly Dog video. I just gotta want to see. Damn, it's been that long. got to talk to John R. Dilworth because of the song package.
Yeah.
The guy that made Curtis Cowboy. I sent it to him while I was in the middle of making it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's some like of the audio from the actual episodes." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like some of these samples, like you can't get like the audio clips because they're from like lost episodes and shit. So I got to use like sound clips that he sent me.
You're
Like,
going to learn like no one ever checks out of the past.
We interrupt this program to bring you made me look bad.
That's the one. So I made this one. So all my friends, a little editor on that, bunch of clips to the audio.
You twist.
Watch where you're going, you fool!
You can't have the rights to that. Here's me, not looking like a camera. I was happy about that. Around the time. About time after this. After this one, and then you're back.
So it has been proven to boost your heart rate, breathe less deeply, and also you reduce the fight or flight hormones.
I'm just making sure. Or like that. Like, I think we do like.
That your heart rate climbs from the mid-60s to mid-90s. You can actually undo some of the damage by listening to things that are more like.
I This is the sickest drop I've like ever made.
So it will boost your heart rate, breathe less deeply, and also you reduce the flight hormones.
Where you got my mouth? Your finger placement. That is a dumpster quote. That's the way the dumpster quote is. I recorded it on my phone. Honestly, that's like an 80s kid. I'm just mean ass near roll right here.
You can't even escape the noise. I can't handle it.
Let's mute the rock out for a little bit.
Alright, let's do this.
Oh, my God. How did you forget your phone? It's okay, I'll let it rock. See, I'm learning to be understanding. That's right, we are back with us four. You can see Destiny's got her service pet with her.
We are officially back.
That's right, he has made himself increasingly comfortable.
You want to tell them the songs you just played?
The
First one was.
first one was Blurred, Low Res Lifestyle. That's right. Second one was by Tad Up Leo and Smitty the General. ain't enough. And the third one,
The last two were
you want to go ahead? Yeah.
Bass Trenches. You can just look anything Bass Trenches, type it in. I'm the
That's
only
right.
one with that name. Copyright.
That's right, copyright. So
Always buy your name, people. Always buy your right.
yes, absolutely. Always buy your rights. Oop, hold on, I had to go ahead. My bad, y'all.
What did you do? Oh, what did you call it?
No, it just fell. And I got people asking me, before we sit there and go back to anything else, I got people asking me about ToonFest 22. You know, when is it? August 13th.
13.
I made a whole event page, people.
How many spots are left?
There are 6 spots, but I've got 2 people who've already claimed their spots, as in they're reserved. So
Right.
you want to go ahead and say like 4 spots again, people.
You
this
have 4 spots left. That means if you or someone you know is an artist and or performer, hit him up.
That's
Or
right.
me. You can message me and I will tap you through to him.
That is right. And this is and again, this is anybody. Don't sit there and be like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, I'm a comedian. I can't perform at ToonFest. Because guess what? You can't. Don't
Guess
say,
what?
oh,
You
I'm
play
a
the
singer.
ukulele.
I can't. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you have a
play
talent.
the didgeridoo by yourself. You can perform.
If you have a harmonica, you can perform.
If you do live nude paintings, you can perform.
If you dress up as a bird and are entertaining enough, you can perform.
If you have a pet turtle and just want to show them off, you can do that.
If you have a snake, you just want people to see your snake on stage for 15 to 20 minutes, you can perform.
I'm concerned about the type of people we are about to attract.
I want an all-out freak show
We're
because
gonna have a fucking Ripley show going.
I mean, why not? Like, I mean, literally, look at the promote. I want you to really like look at the promoters that are running the show. All right?
Also, during this event, there might be a live podcast, Obscene podcast happening, covering the entire event. So if you cannot attend, you can listen in and hear all the greatness going on, but you just won't be able to see it.
Right,
So
but there will be live coverage. Again, it is hosted by DJ Punisher.
And there will be cameras documenting this whole event. So if you want to be in the documentary of this fucking revolutionary event that is about to change the whole perception of events in Baltimore,
That's right. That is right.
definitely come down and be a part of this. This is
Exactly.
the first multi-genre event in the Baltimore underground scene that we're doing here.
Facts.
We're
And
not shying away from any type of performers.
That's right.
Even if
And
you're a fire blower, we're just gonna have to take you outside.
yeah, exactly.
it.
It can be done. It just will have to be in like a parking lot. I'm looking at you, Leech, because you're fucking awesome, and I will be contacting you. But
Leech is my man.
that's my guy right there.
If you guys want to see some crazy fire, Leech is coming.
Yeah, he's
performing.
he's that guy.
Even
you know?
if it's just 10 minutes.
Also, I guess some. I got a lot of artists that sit there and ask me all the time, like, "Hey, what makes you different?" You know, I run into a lot of different promoters all the time that sit there, they book me, and then exactly. That's right. Thank you for that. I'll ask you that. Yeah. What makes this different? Because I'll tell you why. Because artists are running this event. That means I'm not just after your money. You can literally tell by how much is being charged. No, you're not just coming there and paying a flat fee and then, for God's sakes, team, but you're jumping all over our mental health advocate. All right. See,
Actually, I kind of want to get her take on this type of. What do you think about this type of event? Like when you first hear about a multi-genre event, like, what do you think? Like, oh shit, there's bands, DJs.
I think
comedians.
that's really fucking dope. Hell yeah.
exactly. Because it's
You
like
getting
why
outside feedback.
why stay in one color of the rainbow when you can have all of it? Okay, people.
Because
What?
me and him are from two different spectrums of the music industry, and we fucking we just celebrated our 10-year friendship anniversary.
That's right.
Actually, 11 now.
I think it's a lot longer than that actually. Man, this is back.
Actually, no, yeah, 12 years.
I'm
We've known
still.
each other 12 years.
Yeah, dude. Like back then, dude, I had no hair on my face whatsoever. I thought that was. I
12 years. That's
Right.
strong.
thought that was the beginning of the end, people. I was like, well, this is it. This is my height, and I'm going to be a child forever. And now, I think you might have helped me grow hair.
Oh yeah, that's right. You never used to be able to grow hair
No, man.
on your face.
Right?
Most of your testosterone a little bit.
I know, right? I have that. But yeah, exactly. Like artists are running the event. All right. And one common misconception is, okay, like, are you just after this? Or are you just after that? Like, no. The difference between us running this event and other people that have ran events is that no artist wants to sit here and perform in front of just their friends or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that to you. All right. I wouldn't do that to you. Again, like why not? I'm an artist. I'm trying to put on an event that is going to stimulate the mind, that has different people. I've got people from Virginia, from PA, coming down here to perform for y'all. And all I ask at my show is that after you perform, don't just leave the building, because that is one thing that has gotten on my entire nerves.
Stay and socialize.
Right.
Promote.
Network, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
Enjoy the atmosphere you just created.
That's right. That is 100% right. And pretty soon,
Because
people.
you're definitely going to make everybody that performs, you're going to get a handful of new fans that have never heard of you.
Exactly. Whether it's.
You're definitely going to be showing off to a new crowds of people that you would never expect that listen to your music.
Exactly.
Like you could be a band, like a rock band, perform, and there's like these EDM kids there, and then like these EDM kids like your band, even though you're like heavy metal, are like grunge core or noise core. Like I have a lot of friends that are in the heavy metal basement noise scene.
Exactly. You don't just have to like one style of music. I promise you.
This event is definitely going to attract a lot of open minds.
Exactly.
Like, everybody coming here, I think, is going to have an open mind to everything that's going to be shown and available at this event.
Facts. And if you're an artist that has messaged me and you feel like I haven't responded to you quick enough, it's because I probably haven't. Because my inbox is literally swarmed like an attractive female. So you have to think, I'm over here going from message to message to message with people calling my phone, asking me about this and that and this and that. I'm going to get back to you. All you have to do is, sometimes you might have to over message me a little bit. It's going to happen. But I'm not ignoring you unless you're somebody who I have specifically mentioned, like, look, this date is on the event page. It's on Eventbrite. It's everywhere, you know? But again, like it's not like I'm ignoring you on purpose type deal. I'm not. It's just we're looking at a lot here. And believe it or not, while Power 4.4 Radio is working with me, I am still one guy that has to go out here and do everything from sound checks to, you know, like making sure everything's perfect. Like I am going to bet to make sure that this is so lit of an event that you guys are still talking about it a month from when you performed or when you went there. Right? Yeah. That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to have a good time. Right?
I am in the midst of organizing a part of this event in the basement for just actual artists to set up galleries to sell their art.
That's
Or
right.
not even just sell it, but just show off their work.
Exactly.
That's in the midst. So we're not going to confirm or deny that will be available for you to get a spot to show off your canvas art or your street art or your photography or anything that you do art-wise.
Exactly.
But that is in the...
It's in the cards.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the
That
cards.
will be released soon.
Yes. And again, if you are somebody who is, again, performing at TuneFest 22, send me in your music so that I can be able to play it out during the radio show. You know, you guys get a complimentary free interview, 9 times out of 10, not in my basement, but you get it. You get it on the actual show, and your music gets played. And I need you guys to record some of the dopest promos you could possibly think of. It's gonna be awesome. Like I said, you think, oh, what, you're just paying to perform? No, it ain't like that. No, you get a freaking radio show interview. I'm not gonna leave you guys
Not
hanging.
only that, you're going to be in the documentary of this.
Right. There's a good documentary. Wait a minute. Why did I bleep that? It's a fucking documentary.
You got used to the censorship.
I did.
power.
I did. I got so used to the censorship. You know what? That's so wrong with me. One of these days, I'm gonna pull out my ass, just to do it. I can do that. Don't worry. Not like now.
Me and her just looked very concerned.
Right.
Like, we're gonna watch this, and me and her are just like,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
No. I don't want you guys to see that brown moon.
That's
Just-
for OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. Does anybody know anybody with an OnlyFans, by the way? Anyone?
Also, yeah, if you're a fucking content creator and you want to come to the event and hand out cards with your OnlyFans, do it. We like that's.
Shit, if you're cool
I mean,
enough,
you're gonna have to
get a
in,
QR
but it's
code
also a
of
good
your
place to
link.
promote your shit.
get a
or your
QR code
business
of your link and stick it all
No,
over the walls. I don't
Do
care.
not give away my ideas.
What?
That's our secret idea.
Well, it's not really secret now, fucker.
Well,
Jesus.
We're gonna keep it secret. They don't know what you meant. But yeah, like this,
If
this
you
is
have
definitely
cards-
gonna be a good place to network.
Yeah. Network to get work, people.
And everybody, once again, everybody that's going to be at this event is going to be very open-minded to everything. There's not going to be any type of, drama or somebody booing. Anybody that does that shit will be dragged out immediately.
Yeah,
You do not need that, and we will not refund your money.
Yeah.
That is in the fine print.
Yeah. The fine print will be tattooed onto the back
If
of
you
Rob.
don't have anything nice to say about an artist or anything, just keep it to yourself.
Right. We're just trying to have a nice, wholesome event here. You know what I mean?
One more support button.
Exactly. I do, however, encourage stage diving and a pit.
Oh, this is a enter at own risk liability. We do not accept any responsibility for any type of injuries that occur or any items or personal belongings that are stolen.
I'm glad you said that. Now we have it, out there.
We still have to put it down on the tickets.
The fuck we do? I have an oral contract right now.
Not everybody in this going is watching this. Don't worry, I'll put it in there. I got you.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I don't need anybody sitting there.
I'm like the lawyer of the group.
Right. I would totally hire you as my lawyer, but you need to dress exactly like this.
The law offices of Rob, and Rob.
No, dude, the law offices of Northington and Wickersham.
Who the fuck is Wickersham?
We're going to find somebody.
Sounds like a scarecrow.
Bruh, no, I'm telling you. Tell me the law
You
office.
got crows? Are you tired of crows? Wickersham. Stand in for you.
Right, you can do that too, like the Uncle Sam's there, but it's like straw and shit.
There's gonna be a cutout of me. Just
I could totally see you as a scarecrow too.
me too. It's scary.
Right. Scary crow.
Ah,
That was corny. But
I'm confused.
contrary to what we do on this particular podcast, you guys will be seeing us. It's funny that Destiny here mentioned that our brains are very valuable to us because unlike with Toon World and everything like that, on our broadcast, you might catch us doing stuff where you're going to question whether we have a brain or not. But that's
I don't think
okay.
Anybody that knows us personally has not asked that question at least once. And we've met a lot of people.
That's true, but I asked these people, do they have a radio show?
True.
Yeah, bite my ass. Every square inch of it. But yes, we do have a brain, but at this point in our lives, we have discovered that we can't work regular jobs. So we're going to do everything till we're famous. And even when we're famous, we're going to still do stuff until we don't have to do stupid shit where, most of our money's going towards medical bills. Like Rob. Rob here will be put inside of a...
Shut up, man. I have one $700 ambulance bill, and that was here on Christmas.
No one told you to pass out on my front porch. You didn't even make
At Christmas Day, I was very young. This was a couple years ago, back in my low points.
Yeah.
It was a good Christmas.
It was a good Christmas.
No, it was not. I don't. I'm not embarrassed of my past. I can talk about it, but it's just I don't glamorize it as much. I do kind of.
I think we did when we were a lot
ashamed of some of the things that happened.
Well, because when we were a lot younger, it was like funny. It was like
I died.
yeah, but now it's to the point
I
where
got
it's like,
stabbed in the heart with an epinephrine pen.
yeah, now it's just like, all right, well, dude, you're old enough now. It's like, all right, Like, believe you me, all right? Like, I know nobody in this room knows what 30 feels like, but it
I don't know
fucking
how
hurts.
well
Alright.
you know our stuff from like, or how far back you know us, like our artist stuff. But we used to do these vlogs. We had like 15 episodes, I think, 15, 16 episodes of these vlogs that we called AOE. It was like a group I started, and then I brought Weave into it. So me and Weave started it, and it was a group of people like DJs, rappers, band. Like, it was just a collage of kids you didn't think would hanging out together, and we all had very bad mental issues, like our own issues, and you just seen them all collide in these vlogs. Us hanging out and like what we were doing, and somehow the episodes and vlogs are still up on Facebook. I do not know how they have been taken down, but if you want to go watch them just to see how bad we were, or anybody can, you can go to on Facebook and type in A.O.E Entertainment, and then
Entertainment.
go on the video section and look for, it'll say AOE vlogs, and it's bad. It's bad. I'm surprised Facebook let us get away with putting that type of content out.
Why not? It's fun. It's
Very illegal activities on there, but entertaining to the point. But
they weren't illegal.
it was like a small look into what we did. Like, if you want to see untreated mental health at its craziest, look at this. Because what I would do was every 2 weeks, I would contact everybody in the group and tell them, send me all your Snapchats that you've taken over the last 2 weeks, all of your Facebook Lives, all of your little short videos that you thought were cool or whatever as your artist, because for your music page or what you do to promote your stuff, and send it to me. I'm going to edit it all together in like these 5-6 minute episode vlogs of us like at live, us going around doing live shows, our studio sessions, like all of us hanging out and like all the crazy shit we were doing. And so every person had like their section in the episodes of them just going fuck ass wild, like backstage at shows, like what was going on backstage, and like what we were doing at parties, what the studio sessions were like with us making music and everything.
Yeah, you ever sit there and look at your body and you're like, yo, you're a champ, man. How have you held up this long? You know,
Yeah.
like I wake up like every morning and I talk to my heart and I'm just like, bro, you are a fucking trooper. You know what I mean? Like you sit there and there's just like a night after a show where you're sitting there and I think everybody's had those nights after like some sort of event or whatever, where they're sitting there, whether it's in their homie's car or in like an Uber, and they're all just staring out at the window, the lights are going by, and you're just like,
all of you are just zonked out.
Right, they're just like
video
zonked
of
out,
me-
and you're like, oh shit, I'm alive.
There's a video of me verbally abusing a Uber driver and accusing him of kidnapping us and taking us to a warehouse.
And mind you, I
Funny,
have
but
the
at
Uber
time,
app, and I'm
I
looking
was
at where
so
we're going.
serious because I was so out of it that I really thought this man was kidnapping us.
Which I mean,
I was
really,
that paranoid,
I mean, like,
and I was sober.
who would kidnap us? That's what I kept trying to tell you. Like, nobody in
just
their right
freaking
mind
me
is
out.
gonna kidnap
And
us.
like, I was so paranoid, and like, I didn't want them to know I was serious about it because I didn't want them to know I was freaking out. Like, so I tried to laugh as I'm saying, like, dude, this guy, like, because I'm sitting in the front seat with him, they're in the back, and I'm literally looking at him, and like, for some reason, I just had an episode where I thought this man was really gonna like kill us, and like, so in the video, I'm laughing as I'm talking about it, but I'm dead serious. And nobody knew that until like I just said it just now. So if you watch it, that whole thing is me being serious, thinking like my paranoia was like, we're gonna get killed.
You ever
It was
had like
crazy.
a funny episode? Like,
Yeah.
Are there any episodes that you've ever had where you just like had to laugh at it afterwards?
All of them.
All of them?
Not honestly, not all of them, but like honestly, like looking back, it's like some of the things I freaked out about. I'm just like, why? Because like it was just like so like it just wasn't worth like the episode. But it's just how my brain works, so it has to happen. It always happens. But
Well, what kind of do you make content? Like you create videos?
What?
Does she create? Do you create videos like?
Are you asking her if she's got an OnlyFans?
No, I mean like
Oh.
YouTube or Facebook.
Not really. No.
He's asking if you're like a entertainer or
Like,
anything like.
yeah.
Oh,
Do you
no.
make music or like? Do you,
No, I mean I like singing, but like I'm not great at it. But like
I feel like everybody that
Right now
says
you're
that
just like
they're
on the mental health advocate thing.
No, actually, this is my first time ever like speaking out about it like on the internet.
woohoo!
All right, so we got the first interview.
Yeah, like we legitimately got the first interview. We did it.
Do you know what exactly like direction you want to take this in? Like,
I have no idea. I just thought it would be cool to like talk about it on the internet and just to bring awareness about like BPD and just mental health in general. So I don't know where this is gonna like take me in the future.
well,
Like,
if you want help like creating like a page, or if you don't know how to do something, feel free to ask me, because ask him. I help a lot of people for free.
Yeah,
You
shout
know?
out to
And-
Base Judge for making the promo to my TuneFest 22. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
like,
made that on my phone.
right.
Like all
Phones
my
are
music
very
videos.
valuable, people.
Yes.
Yes.
You know how to Viva Video. Download it. Definitely worth the $12 a year.
$12 a year. That's it.
Yeah, dude. And I can do all their edits like that.
Yeah,
I could make a Hollywood movie on my phone if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm telling you, phones are
But,
valuable as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
do you like want to like create pages where people can talk on it and like everything, to where like you can help give advice and other people can give advice to
I mean, that would be
platform
like
for people to
I
talk.
haven't really thought about that, but that would actually be like a pretty good idea for something like, for the future.
All right, well,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you
like
want
a
to
public
after
forum.
this, like yeah, I can help you create a page and
Yeah, for sure.
make you like show you how to run it, and then just give it to you so that you can start up what you want to do.
Okay.
yeah, we
I'm definitely
definitely
down to help.
definitely appreciate you being on the show and being able to speak to people. Now, is there something you want to be able to tell anybody out there from you personally who's going through it? Like any words for them? There could be anybody watching this that like maybe needs to hear something from somebody going through the same thing as them.
What would you tell somebody, or what would you want somebody to say to you during an attack to help you?
Just like I said earlier, just like giving reassurance and just like being there for the person and not like catching an attitude, or like just really being there for somebody, you know what I mean? Because like living with BPD, it's existential dread almost every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like, that's not even exaggeration. Like almost every single day I'm going through it to some degree, except like I don't always like vocalize it or tell people, because like I said earlier, I internalize most like the stuff I go through, but like it's really hard. So just like, like if you guys know someone with BPD, just like check in every once in a while, give them reassurance that you're still friends with them, and just like being there for them even during like the hard times, because like the hard times do get really, really hard, but it gets easier over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I really actually like the idea of like you making a platform or like for people to talk about it. That's actually really like cool. So I would definitely want to be involved in it and help you guys out.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Help you guys set up and get it moving.
Yeah, because I feel like there are definitely people that just, like you said, internalize it and just don't want to be vocal about it because they don't want people thinking like, all right, well, I already feel like people don't like me. I don't want anybody thinking I'm like weird or anything like that. But like, the point of this is there's nothing wrong with getting help. As a matter of fact, the sooner, the better.
Yeah, you could even make it to where like the platform is like for people that don't want to necessarily let people know that like people can be anonymous.
Yeah.
You know, that are embarrassed to talk about it, can go on the platform and freely talk about it without being exposed or exposing themselves, and then having all these people be like, oh, you've had it, and then people bombarding them like, oh, well, if you need this, or like, I can understand how like once people find out you have something, like when people found out I get panic attacks very bad, because if I don't take my medicine, I will have at least 3 to 4 panic attacks a day lasting about an hour to 2 hours from the time I wake up and then about halfway through the day, I'll have another one, and then I'll have another one, like 3/4 through the day, and then right before I go to sleep, I'll have another one. And they'll last for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then once people found out that I had it, I had so many people like trying to like help me at once. Like it was over.
Like
Like,
overstimulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like way too many people trying to like help me at once.
Yeah, nobody wants people like
And it wasn't
crowding
even like
over
I
them
told
when they're
them.
dealing
It
with
was
that
just
type of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
You know, what I mean?
sure.
Like you don't want to put attention on yourself. That's why I've seen him sit there and go and do like a whole nother room try to deal with it. And when you got like a bunch of people like overbearing on you, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like even for somebody like that is not dealing with that. That's like, dude, get the fuck away from me. I just want to deal with this alone. And that's why people got to know about this stuff. And instead of like some people are just like, well, I'm just trying to help. And it's like, well, helping is knowing what your friend is going through or what your partner
And
is
some
going.
people also need to understand that when somebody is having that, and if they ask for space, if they ask it, if they're trying to get space or want space in the middle of having that attack, and it comes off rude, you don't want to be like mad at them
Yeah, for
because
sure.
people they'll be like, just please get the fuck away from me, and they'll be like, what the fuck is your problem? It's like I wasn't saying get the fuck away from me in a mean way. It was just it came
It's
out
kind of
like
like
that.
an impulse.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's like
It's
if
like,
you
I just
impulsively
really
say
wanna
it
be
like
left
that. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean towards
Yeah.
you or make that personally directed towards you or make you angry or anything. It's just I really would be left alone right now,
Yeah.
and people take that personally sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's basically the point of this broadcast was to be able to let people know, like, look, these people aren't being mean to you, or your friends aren't intentionally, leaving you out in the cold. This is just what they're going through, and that's why we do these types of things. We need to make, especially now more than ever, because about like most of the world right now has mental illnesses, and a lot of them don't necessarily have the awareness or have like a first person, POV from somebody that's going through it, So that's why it's 100%, like it should be mandatory that people know these sort of things, because people going through it, they're not bad people. They are people who were diagnosed with something that they couldn't help, having, and they just want to live their lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, a lot of my friends growing up, when I was like 13 or 14 around here are now like homeless and like bad off on drugs because they couldn't finish school because they were so anxious about going to school that they couldn't finish it, and they went unmedicated because their parents just kind of gave up on them. I think from the age of 14 when I started actually hanging out with people around here till now, out of 10 friends, I've lost 8 because of drug addiction. And all 8 people had the same problem. It was mental health. Like they couldn't get a normal job. They couldn't get on Social Security because they just didn't want to feel like they were mooching off of the government and people looking at them a certain type of way because of it. And then like them being homeless and struggling because they can't get a job because they can't be around people and function around people. And they don't want to go to doctors because they don't have insurance because they can't afford it. And then they're just kind of left wondering, and then they all just turn to heroin and drugs and just kind of wander through life giving up and don't really care if they die or not. And definitely, I think it'll be a big benefit to have a platform like you want to make for people to be able to go on and like just talk about it with other people. Because a lot of my friends, if they had someone to talk to like that, like anonymously too, like so that no one knew who they were, they probably would have ended up being a lot different. Because we didn't have the internet when we were growing up. Like we didn't have, I think we had like a little bit of MySpace, but having a computer in your house was so rare. Now it's you got the internet in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's like there's what is it? There's new apps that are out that hook you up with therapists and stuff.
Yeah, I think I would say that.
BetterHelp.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually was just talking to one of my friends about them trying that.
Yeah.
But if you want to create a platform like that, I will definitely 100% be down to help start it and show you the ropes of it a little bit, like how to run the platform and just let you grow it.
Period. Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you again for being on our show.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
If people want to get a hold of you, where do they go?
You can go to my Facebook, Destiny Riffle, or I have Instagram. My handle is Cherry Puke.
All right, we'll put that down in the description and the comments of the Facebook Live so that you guys can go check that out.
Yes, thank you so much, Cherry Puke, for being on our show.
Oh, wait, what was it? Cherry Puke?
Cherry Puke.
That's good because I fucking hate cherries.
How do you know?
Cherries will make me
Really?
throw up.
As I had a cherry wine cooler back.
Yeah, I cannot drink anything cherry flavored.
What is wrong with you, Cherry?
I don't know. Ever since a kid, I don't know. I had one at a Denny's.
Well, that's where you
it
fucked up. You had it at a Denny's.
was on top of what? I don't know. It was that and medicine as a kid. Always had like that cherry taste in the 90s.
No, I feel like Pepto-Bismol just lied to us.
I will drink Pepto-Bismol straight like I am like from New Jersey.
So you won't eat cherry, and you've eaten duck sauce packets live on the show, but you can't.
I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It's a weird thing. Yeah.
I feel like if I ate it now, I'd be over it. But I
Yeah.
don't want to try.
I think it's just one of those things where you just like, you grow up and you're like, you know, I grow into my taste buds or whatever. But everybody, if you can, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube.
Your
That's
link
right.
will be in the comments of the Facebook Live too, also, so that you can just go on there and click it and go to it.
That's right. Join us next week where we will be in a different location. Hopefully, maybe not.
More
Who knows?
professional than this.
I don't know. I think this is pretty fucking dope either way.
That we just might add to this.
Hey, you never know. You might even catch some like awesome blog footage.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable have you felt on this set?
I felt pretty comfortable, so probably like a 10. Yeah.
So
Sweet.
would you
I've been
prefer
like a
something
little
like
anxious,
this?
but like I've been chilling.
Right.
Would you prefer like an environment like this or like our other environment where we're sitting in chairs with microphones in our faces and
I feel like I would have been more anxious, like sitting like in like a professional studio, because like that's just like a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of
because that's-
overstimulating.
that's
Yeah.
helping us because this is like our first
Yeah.
episode of the Obscene podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like normally I've got like microphones and there's like
Yeah.
computers
So
and all
now
this
we
stuff.
can add to this and make it more comfortable for our guests and shit. We could have like arms with microphones out and people can sit in a beanbag chair and just do that.
I
Make
know,
the environment
and-
more relaxed.
Right, there's a whole ass service dog right there. Like,
Yeah.
you can sit there and just like pet him for fucking hours.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
He's the mascot of Obscene.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
look at him.
he's like, I'm too old for this shit.
That was him.
All right, thank you for coming on for real and being a part of the first ever Obscene.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is like a first for all of us.
Yeah.
So,
Flat out. Like, thank you. And again, thank you to everybody watching. Join us next week from Toon World Order. We will be at the studio. So from Base Trenches, Kid Kong, and Destiny Riffle, and Timba, this has been Obscene Podcast.
yeah.
We out for tonight, y'all.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, for the love of God.
Yeah. Are we done?